Town of Bonnyville organizational meeting for the 2025 year. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda? Oh, sorry, there would be additions to the agenda. So for the agenda, we'll be adding deputy mayor terms for number 3. Number 4, signing authority. Appointments would be then become number 5. Number 6, council meeting dates. Number 7, governance and priorities committee meeting dates. Number 8, adjournment. Need a motion to approve with the amendments.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda as amended.
All in favor? Carried. And we will move into the oath of office for mayor.
Did you want to do the land acknowledgement?
Sorry, and I'll do the land acknowledgement. I apologize. As we gather, we are reminded that the town of Bonnyville is situated on the Treaty 6 land that is steeped in rich Indigenous history and is the traditional homeland and home to the First Nations and Métis people today. We respect the histories, languages, and cultures of First Nations, Métis, and all First Peoples of Canada, whose presence continues to enrich our community.
Lisa Brasso of the town of Bonnyville in the province of Alberta, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of mayor, so help me God.
Yeah, congratulations. Kayla. Kayla.
I, Kayla Blanchette of the town of Bonnyville in the province of Alberta, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of councillor, so help me God.
Congratulations. David?
I, David Shroon of the town of Bonnyville in the province of Alberta, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of councillor.
Neil.
I, Neil Language, town of Bonnyville, and Alberta, do swear that I will faithfully and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of councillor, so help me God.
Okay, no, I got it.
Yep.
Good job.
I, Brian McAvoy, the town of Bonnyville in the province of Alberta, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of councillor, so help me God. Do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, to the best of my ability, execute according to law the office of counselor.
Again.
Okay. I, Commissioner, do swear that I will faithfully, and to the best of my ability, execute according to law the office of deputy mayor.
Congratulations again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot.
I, Byron Johnson, of the town of Bonnyville in the province of Alberta, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability, execute according to law the office of counselor. So help me God.
Congratulations to all of you, with best wishes for a wonderful term.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations to council, and I'll hand over the reins to Madam Mayor.
All right, thank you. First and foremost, I just want to congratulate everybody on a successful campaign and being reelected. No doubt in my mind, we're all going to work together again. We're looking at a number one team here, and I know it's going to be a successful 4 years working together. And let's continue on with business as usual. It's like we never even skipped a beat. All right. Okay, so next up, deputy terms. We did have a discussion. We have laid out the terms of deputy. Was everybody okay with the list? Okay, I'll have maybe just Quentin, if you have it written down, if you just want to go over it again, and then if the motion can include probably the succession of, you know, how they were pulled, and then we'll reflect them in the minutes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So for the terms of deputy mayor, we have Councillor Kushner, or Deputy Mayor Kushner now, that will run for an 8-month term, and then Councillor Langridge will be second term. Third would be Councillor Johnson. Fourth is Councillor McAvoy. Number 5, fifth term would be Councillor Blanchette, and then number 6 would be Councillor Shurin.
Okay, Council, we're good. Do you have a question? Okay, yeah, go ahead if you're ready for motion, to make a motion.
Okay, Madam Mayor, I will move that those terms listed be approved as deputy mayor terms.
All right, thank you. All in favor? Carried. Okay, following that, we do need to do a signing authority and approve Councillor Kushner as signing authority for deputy mayor. So I guess we'll look for a motion first and then make those changes. Councillor Blanchett?
I'll move Councillor Kushner to be signing authority as the deputy mayor, assuming that's what the motion needs to say.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would ask that we do the signing authority for Mayor Elisa Brasso, Deputy Mayor Kushner, CAO Quentin Winfley, and then as well as third would be Renee.
I will move the staff recommendation.
Okay, and I butchered the motion as well. I apologize, but we cleared that up for you.
All right, thank you. Any questions on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Okay, we have the appointments that were circulated to you earlier. I realize you didn't have much time to go through it. If you do have changes, I ask that, you know, you talk amongst yourselves and do some switching. But for the most part, we will look for a motion this evening to approve the committees as presented. If there's no questions, we'll do one motion to accept them all. So we're looking at 5A, B, C, D. 5A, B, C, and D. Any questions? Yes, Councillor Schwern?
No, I just thought you were going to ask for the motion.
Okay, we're good? All right, go, please.
Okay, thank you. I will move that the committees be appointed as presented earlier this evening.
Thank you. All in favor? That's carried. Okay. Next, council meeting dates. Want to talk?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So as recommended would be the second and fourth Tuesdays for the town and council chambers at 6 p.m. If that would be agreeable to council, we can continue on with those dates and times. If not, we open for discussion for alternatives.
Any discussion, questions? No? All right. We will look for a motion then to approve. Councillor Kushner?
I'll make a motion to approve the council meeting dates as put forward by the administration.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Next, governance and priorities committee meeting dates.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And again, it would be the third Tuesday for at the Town Council Chambers, for JMP meeting starting at 12 p.m. for a period of 1 hour.
Any questions? No. Motion then to approve, please. Councillor Johnson.
I'll make the motion to approve the dates for the governance and priorities meeting.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. And a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting. Councillor Langridge.
I will give you that motion, Madam Mayor, to adjourn the organizational council meeting.
All in favor? Carried. Okay, moving on to regular meeting. I could hear echo. Echoes back to Kayla. Are you good? Did you have that turned off? Okay, all right. Sorry, we had an echo here. Okay, so let's call the regular council meeting to order for Tuesday, October 28th, 2025. As we gather, we are reminded that the town of Bonnyville is situated on Treaty 6 land that is steeped in rich Indigenous history and is the traditional homeland and home to First Nation and Métis people today. We respect the histories, languages, and cultures of First Nation, Métis, and all First People of Canada whose presence continues to enrich our community. Council, we were circulated an agenda this evening with a walk-on item 14B in camera. Just making sure you all have that. Right, we'll look for a motion then to accept the agenda as amended, please. Councillor Blanchard.
I will move adoption of the agenda with that addition of the walk-on item.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Next, we have adoption of the meeting minutes from October 14th, 2025. Were there any additions or deletions to those? Seeing none, motion then to approve, please, as presented. Councillor Johnson.
I will make the motion to approve the meeting minutes from October 14th, 2025.
All in favor? Carried. Okay, have a couple of delegations this evening. First up, the Bonnyville Senior Citizen Society budget delegation. Good evening. How are you?
Here.
Good. Well, thank you.
Okay, if I move these, so I don't-
Absolutely. Yeah.
I do have a hand up for you guys.
Okay,
Quick one.
great. Great. Evening. So we'll give you an opportunity to do a presentation, and then after we can have discussion and questions.
So I hadn't emailed in a presentation, but I'm looking at the same counselors as I presented to last year, and I had no idea who I was going to present to. So congratulations on your election. And I'm not going to bore you with all the details. I'm going to give you a quick summary, and this handout will kind of speak to itself, and hopefully that works. So my name is Sherry Hennessy, and I'm the president of the Bonnyville Senior Citizen Society. And I'm pleased to be here today to tell you what we do, and appreciate that you allowed us this opportunity to present to you. So our mission statement is it's the mission of the Bonnyville Senior Citizen Society to provide recreation, education, social and wellness programming to seniors. We believe that an active senior is a healthy senior. For our history, we have just celebrated our 50 years of being a society. Our first half of the building was built in 1977. The second half, the bigger hall, was added in 1998, and the building is approximately 10,000 square feet. Because these are 47 and 26 years, we've tried to upgrade the majority of the facility. And I feel that in the past 3 years, we've almost got it all upgraded except the roof, which is one of our, we will hope it stays the way it is. So we've done that through provincial grants, federal grants, oil company grants, MD grants. We've had help from the town. They do the plowing of the lot, the parking lot. They've assisted me in handicap parking stalls that we're installing new ones that we're installing right now. And last year, they paid the building insurance, not the other part of the insurance, but the building insurance, and we really appreciate that. That was, about $10,000. So we offer a lot of different activities for the seniors. So we have from chair yoga, floor curling, floor shuffleboard, crib, bridge, snooker, 8-ball, bocce ball, shuffleboard, canasta. We have a community garden. We have horseshoe pits. We have a teenagers, which is a senior choir, and we have a sewing group called Tangled Threads. So we do have a lot going on in the center at most of the time. We have to sometimes fight for room in the center, but other times we don't. We do our fundraising mostly through our pancake breakfasts. We do those 10 times a year, and that's where we make a lot of our profit. And then our rentals. So rentals have been finicky, I will say. They've been up, they've been down. People don't do funerals the way they used to. So we've always counted that as our biggest income, but it's not been our biggest income. So it's kind of one of those hit and miss. And then we do tournaments for bridge and for floor curling, and we have held some of the 55 seniors games there. So our current challenge is two things. We have an aging membership and a higher cost of running the facility. So it's costing more and more and more. So even the snacks for our seniors at their floor curling have more than doubled on us. So we're autonomous, and we have prided ourselves in running the place without having a whole lot of assistance. A lot of other senior centers in the province of Alberta are now taken over by some municipal, so either the MD, the town, and they're paying the bills, and the seniors are paying their membership fee. So we still think we're doing okay. Basically, what we're asking the town for is, I'm going to be kind about this, up to $30,000 to help us with our budget constraints. Because if you look at the sheet that I gave you, our forecasted revenues for 2026, which is the second last column, will be about $57,000. And, sorry. That includes 2 grants that we usually get, almost always get every year, the 15,000 from the MD, and then we've gotten bigger donations from the Oilmans or the Lions Club or those, so we count that at about 10,000 in donations, donation grants, I guess you could call it. So then if you look at our expenses for that same time frame, we're saying it's about $100,000 a year to run the facility without doing upgrades. So just kind of standard running, and we're going to be about 42,000 short. So that's where one of the reasons we're asking the town for some help. Because in the end, I guess if we fail, we will give it back to the town. It'll become yours. You'll have to spend the 100,000 or close it or do whatever, but we still think we're saving you guys money. So, and it's all volunteer time. There, we have no employees. So, any questions?
Okay. Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you.
Any questions, council? Comments, Councillor Langridge?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you for the presentation, Sherry. Just 2 questions, just clarifying, looking at the numbers. So you said last year, the town covered the building insurance,
Yeah, 8,900 and some dollars.
okay, and as well as they did the snow removal.
Just of the parking lot, which I
Okay.
now found out is yours. It's not ours anyway. We use it, but
Okay,
it's not legally ours.
and then I see a jump in your guys' projected memberships. What's the plan? Because we're going on an estimate this year of 3,200 and we're jumping to 8,000.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that. We've raised the membership to $40 a person because we couldn't afford to stay where we were.
Okay.
And we're averaging 200, 220 last year anyway. It was $30 back then. And so 1 year in this in this column, as you see, what happened was end of October is our end of year, and we start selling memberships in November. They collected them all in October and deposited them in October, so we had 2 years in one, not 1 year. So that was the
Okay.
glitch there.
And just clarifying again for request purposes, the request for up to 30,000 to help as an operating grant, does that include or not include the town covering the building insurance?
That would be part of it. So our insurance runs around that 10 to 12,000, and it used to be like 3 years ago it was like 4,200. So that was a big jump that we hadn't really accounted for, and it's for operating. Basically, cover the bills that we pay, the power, the water, the gas. Those are 2 of our highest. And then we've now doing our sidewalks around the facility. We had a senior who was 84 years old who drove our tractor and did it, and he stepped down a year and a half ago, and so we hire the contract out now, which it's got to be skiff because we have seniors, and so it's not a cheap contract. So things like that, we'd like to actually have a bit of housekeeping help too, because the majority of our seniors are 75 plus, and lots of them don't have the mobility to do the things that used to be done there, and I'm getting tired doing it.
And that's very fair. So again, the request would be 30,000. That is with the insurance included, or would you want the insurance
No,
on top of that 30?
That's total. We want to be fair to you, and
Okay.
we need some help.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Other questions? Yeah, Councillor Johnson?
Thanks for the presentation. One quick question. You mentioned how power and gas is one of your highest bills. Are you locked into a rate?
We check that every 3 months, and if it goes lower, I lock it in for another 5 years. So we're down I can't say exactly what the center is, but Karen did the last one, but every time it lowers and we get a chance, or they get an ad out saying, if you sign now for this long and it's lower, we just keep dropping it. But we're now starting to see the benefits of changing out all the furnaces. We only have one hot water tank left to change out, and pretty much everything in there will have been changed out. And the LED lights, they're helping. Like, you can now see it. It took a while to show, but now because everything's gone up, but our usage has gone way down. So the bill is kind of trying to balance itself, but, so we're hoping that'll keep going down.
Through to administration, would they be eligible to get in as a non-for-profit or a society underneath the municipality's rate?
For insurance? Oh,
No, for the
the bills.
bills, yeah, the,
As a community-related organization, they would be. It would just be based on whether they've locked in for the next 3 or 5 years, because they would probably get a penalty if you were to
No, we have no penalties on
have
it.
no penalties.
No.
So you can always, give me a call and I'll see what, get you the forms for maybe trying to see if we can get a cheaper rate through our company.
Okay, that's cool. That is good.
okay, thank you, that's all for me.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Carrie, thank you so much for your presentation this evening.
Thank you guys as well.
We really do appreciate all the work that you do and the group and the team that you have over at the Drop-In Center. They are very dedicated, and I don't think people realize really how much programming and how many things you actually put on at the senior. And some of the things I've learned I didn't know, like the quilting club, I didn't realize that was something that you guys have
We
organized.
put in over 5,000 hours of volunteer time last year.
Blows me away.
Yeah, for
So,
200 of us, right?
Yeah,
But it's it's 10 people or 12 people doing that.
yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
will take this back and, if we have
I
any
look
questions,
forward
we'll
to
reach
hearing
out.
from you.
Thank you. Okay, all right. Next delegation, we have Stars Air Ambulance.
Sorry, unfortunately, Madam Mayor, we do not have representation from Stars Ambulance here at the moment. So if we could either table it to a later date, and we'll bring that back to council and get a hold of them later.
All right, we will go into municipal planning. Just a motion then to move into MPC, please.
I will give you the motion to move into MPC, Madam Mayor.
You all in favor? Carried. Okay. We will call MPC to order. We've got an agenda. Are there any additions to the agenda, deletions?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. None at this time.
Motion to approve the agenda then as presented. Counselor Kushner,
I'll make that motion, Madam Mayor.
all in favor? Carried. And then we have the minutes from August 26, 2025. Any changes to those minutes as presented? Motion then to approve. Counselor Blanchett,
I'll move adoption of the minutes.
all in favor? Carried. Okay, first item, proposed development permit. Who's speaking on that? Okay.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Through you to council, an application has been received for a change of use on a single-family dwelling to a group home at the above-noted property. This property is located within the R1 Single-Family Residential District as defined in the Land Use Bylaw 1447-16. Within this district, group homes are considered a discretionary use and subject to review and approval. As defined in the land use bylaw, a group home means the use of one dwelling unit as a care facility licensed by the provincial authority to provide room and board for not more than 6 residents with physical, mental, social, or behavioral problems that require professional care, guidance, and supervision. A group home may include to a maximum of 6 any combination of staff, residents requiring care, and residents not requiring care. Character of the use is that the occupants live together in a single housekeeping group and use a common kitchen. This use does not include boarding and lodging houses, congregate care, or temporary shelter services. This use may include foster homes. The proposed group home would provide care for children aged 12 to 16 with disabilities, referred through Family Support for Children with Disabilities or Children's Services. In accordance with the bylaw, the total number of individuals residing in the home, including both residents and care staff, will not exceed 6. At this time, the applicant intends to house 1 child and 1 full-time care worker with a 1-to-1 staffing ratio maintained for each child placed at the home. Care will be provided 24 hours a day, ensuring continuous supervision and support. As part of the public notification process, 51 adjacent landowners were notified of the proposed development. To date, 3 responses have been received expressing opposition to the application. These responses, along with our replies, are included in the package for review. Concerns raised by the respondents include potential decrease in property values, possible increase in crime, perceived safety risks for neighborhood children. It should be noted that the operator had begun advertising this home as a group home prior to making this application, and the application process was only started when prompted by town staff. Desired outcomes: the applicant would like the development approved so that they can continue to provide care services for children in our area. The response options would be to approve the development permit or refuse the development permit with reasons. My apologies, Madam Mayor. For the approval would be with the provided conditions listed below. Recommendations that the Municipal Planning Commission approve the development permit 25D0072 with the following conditions.
Thank you. Open it up to council. Any questions or comments for this request? Councillor Kushner?
Things never change. I'll start. So, so what qualifies as disabled in this act? Or through the administration, sorry.
That would be as defined through Family Support for Children and Disabilities or Children's Services. That is not listed in the bylaw as part of our definition. That would be as assigned by government officials.
Okay, so I've noticed here, and when I read through the letters, one of the biggest things they're worried about, and rightfully so, is violent clients. Now, in here it says, is there a potential to house violent clients? And the answer is no. How do we know that that won't? Okay, so right now it might not be a violent client, but in the future, how do we know that it won't be a violent client that goes in there?
You wouldn't.
So there's really no provision in this anywhere that would say that violent children cannot be housed there, even though we're getting a statement from the owner of the building that they won't be housed there. That really, we can't hold them to anything on that, correct?
Ultimately, the cared for youth in that facility would be assigned by Family Support for Children with Disabilities or Children's Services.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? Councillor Sharoon?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor, through to administration. So just a comment and a question. I don't know, since the developer received a fine for the development prior to the approval, my question or maybe concern would be, did the developer actually get the proper provincial authority licensing to operate that facility before, since everything seems to have been done, you know, before the approval? And in one of the residents' emails, it appears that they're the ones who contacted the bylaw officer and reported that this was being used as this type of facility.
I cannot tell you whether or not they've received the proper provincial approvals. That would be double checked through the development permit process.
So if we approved it, that would have to be followed up as well, or we don't even get concerned about that?
We would, again, through the development permit process, we would be following up to ensure that they have the proper provincial approvals in place.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Counselor Blanchette? To Counselor Sharoon's point, if you note in the conditions, number 4 indicates that the applicant shall abide by all municipal, provincial, and federal regulations. But I did have some comments. I wanted to thank the residents that engaged in this and sent in their concerns, and I think our administration did a great job of getting back to them and providing them with information that I'm sure that we would have had concerns about as well. I did want to note that it does indicate that it's 24-hour supervision of these children with one-to-one supervision, which is better than a household that has 2 parents and 4 kids, in my opinion. And when it comes to violence, I mean, how could we ever guarantee that anyone purchasing a property isn't going to be a violent person that moves in or rents a property? I can say that when we approved a group home in the past at MPC, we had people here that were speaking against it who stopped me at a recent event and said, "Thank you for approving it. That group home is the most quiet house on our street. It's been the greatest neighbor in our neighborhood." And I will say that I am very in favor of this one being approved with the listed conditions. And when it's time, I am happy to make that motion.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Councillor Blanchette. Any other questions? Councillor Sharoon?
Yeah, just one question or two comments through to Councillor Blanchette. So right now there is
To administration.
to administration. So right now, yes, there is only 1-on-1. It's not 3-on-3 right now, so the dynamics could change. The other thing I wanted to just also mention, when I commented about the $1,000 fine for starting the development prior to the approval, number 4, yes, I did read that the application shall abide by municipal, provincial, and federal regulations. And that was what I questioned because the development permit had not been received prior. So I was just wondering if that had been done as well. So that was my concern.
Thanks. Councillor Langridge?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. 2 comments on this one, and I agree with Councillor Blanchette on the fact that, you know, some of the concerns raised are concerns that we see often when it comes to approving group homes. My concern falls more on the fact that it was noted that the operator had begun advertising the group home prior to making this application. And an application was only started after prompted by administration. My other concern is this individual who is applying for the permit. This would not be the first time that we've had issues following permits and whatnot, as they also control the midtown downtown. So for that reason, I would be not in favor of this.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, comments? Councillor Johnston?
Just to add a comment onto that, and if they were planning to start this up and do the process properly, which they didn't again, and the fact that they weren't looking after the property and the property owner next door was mowing the grass for it, you know, it raises concern. It's not about having the group home. It's not about looking after kids. I fully support that 100% every time. My only concern is the operator and what they've shown us so far, which, you know, doesn't give me a warm, fuzzy feeling. So that's just my 2 cents.
Okay, thanks. I have a question through to administration. I'm wondering if you can tell me, I'm curious to know, so under the conditions number 5, they would have to obtain a building permit to bring the home into compliance. So what are some of the things that have to be done in the home to become compliant to be a group home?
Not being a safety code officer, Madam Mayor, my potentially up to and including sprinkler systems. Not 100% sure, but we can definitely find that information through our contractor and get that back to council in a timely fashion.
And sorry, Madam Mayor, if may add to that, I think there would be specific provisions that they would have to follow through the group, some sort of other parts of the act that would require them to be more conducive of the safety of youth. There would probably be additional requirements to have added into the facility. And then I think the other part too that we would have to look at as administration is zoning on that as well for this type of group home in that area. So I think there's a little bit more due diligence that needs to be done on both sides on that with the application process that would spark that inquiry at this time.
Sorry, so to clarify, we would have to do a rezoning for this?
No, I think we would just have to look at, see how it fits within that zoning, because it is residential right now.
Right.
So we would have to look at it, because I'm not sure where this really fits under, as it's not quite residential, and it's not quite commercial at the same time. So I think it's something that, you know, planning would have to speak on, but at the end of the day, we would have to see how that fits in there to find out if there's any portions of that need to come back to MPC if this is a process that would be approved by the MPC board.
So then is that something that needs to be taken back to be, and before this should be considered?
I think it'd be part of the discussion that we would have to maybe look into as well.
Right.
And that would be part of the permitting process, and that would maybe be a safety codes discussion as well. I think there's a few layers to that conversation.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to put administration on the spot with that question. All right. Any other questions, Councillor Blanchette, you wanted in?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I think my only comment would be that our role as MPC is to discuss land use only. It's not to come in here with a bias based on previous applicants. It is the sole role of MPC is to look at land use. So that would be my only comment.
Thank you. All right. So we're okay then for motion this evening then, administration?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, we would be okay with motion.
Council, we are looking for a decision then on this.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
this is my first time ever attending a meeting, but I'd like to speak on behalf of Patricia Chalou. When is my opportunity before the decision is made or after?
You can reach out to administration after. It's not a public hearing, and we don't normally have people speak from the public.
I cannot speak here to.
Not this evening. Yeah.
I can't, okay. I think she was misled by that.
Yeah. Oh, my apologies. Yeah. You can speak with Quentin after. He's our CAO. Might be able to get some information
Well,
from
actually,
him as far
tomorrow
as.
she will be back, so.
Okay.
She has reached out. I just want to make sure, has everyone received her letter with her concerns? I believe she emailed them all.
Yeah.
Mr. Language, I'd like to thank you for, that was one of my points to bring up, was the Midtowner. Thank you. And I had some more, but you were doing just land use bylaws. So I will not go into the other matters at this time.
Okay.
Since
Thanks.
I cannot speak, I'm going to wish you guys congratulations on your election, Mayor and Council. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so council, we are looking for a decision on this request this evening. If Councillor Blanchette did want to put a motion on the floor, did you still want to do that?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I will move the staff recommendation that MPC approve development permit 25-D0072 with the 7 conditions listed.
Okay. Questions on the motion? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, that is defeated. Thank you. Okay, next we have another request. I put my agenda away. I'm sorry. Okay, another development permit.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll defer this over to Planning and Corporate Service.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Through you to council, an application has been submitted requesting a variance to the maximum allowable fence height for the front yard of the above mentioned property. It should be noted that the project had started prior to any applications being received. This property is located within the commercial transition district as defined in the land use bylaw 1447-16. According to section 1271, fences and screening of the land use bylaw, measured from the highest point, not higher than that does extend beyond the foremost portion of the principal building on the parcel. The proposed fence height is intended to address ongoing security concerns at the property, which has experienced multiple incidents of break-ins, theft, and vandalism in recent months. The increased height is expected to deter unauthorized access to the site. According to SEPTED principles, environmental design plays a critical role in deterring criminal activity. One key concept is natural surveillance, which suggests that lower fences or open yards allow neighbors and passers-by to observe unusual or suspicious activity, thereby increasing the likelihood of intervention or reporting. This passive monitoring helps discourage potential offenders. However, while taller fences may reduce visibility and create blind spots that limit natural surveillance, they can also serve as a target hardening measure, another SEPTED strategy, by physically restricting access to the property. In this case, the proposed 1.8 meter fence is intended to enhance security due to repeated incidents of break-ins, theft, and vandalism. The applicant acknowledges the trade-off between visibility and security and believes that the increased height is justified given the property's history and ongoing safety concerns. Additionally, this location is a rental property that has generated numerous complaints over the past 12 months, including several bylaw infractions. A total of 55 adjacent property owners were contacted regarding this proposed development, to which only one response, which does not have concerns with the proposal. The applicant would like this variance to be approved to mitigate unauthorized people entering the property. Options are to refuse the development with reasons, approve the development with conditions provided. Recommendation is that the Municipal Planning Commission refuse the development permit 25D0078 with the following reasons.
Thank you. Opening it up for questions or comments from council. No questions? All right, seeing none, we are looking for a decision on this request. Councillor Langridge?
I would be okay with moving staff recommendation, Madam Mayor.
All right, any questions on the motion? All in favor? Okay, that is passed, thank you. All right, and we will look for a motion to adjourn MPC, moving to the regular meeting. Councillor Johnson,
I'll make the motion to exit MPC.
all in favor? Carried. Here's a question, do we need a motion to go back into council meeting? Yeah, he wants a motion. Councillor Sharoon.
I move us back into regular council meeting.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Okay, where are we at here? Evening. Are you from Stars Ambulance?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Councilor, are we okay with going back to our delegation? Okay, welcome. We just had you at the beginning of the meeting, which is fine. Are you ready for your presentation? Yeah.
7 p.m.
No, no worries. All good. Administration, are you good if we go to delegation? Got it.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
No.
My apologies again.
No worries. Thank you for coming. What we'll do is we'll give you the floor for your presentation,
Okay.
and then after we can have a conversation, questions, comments.
Perfect.
All right, the floor is yours.
That's awesome. Oh, and I see the slideshows up already. So I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Shannon Paquette. I am a Donor Relations and Development Officer with Stars Air Ambulance. I've been with Stars for over 4 years now and have the privilege of working with donors, both corporate and individual, as well as municipalities in central Alberta. So tonight I'd like to start by highlighting Stars is celebrating 40 years of serving Albertans. So that's 40 years of providing critical care anywhere. On the next slide, we review Stars, how we gain our funding, and it's through various channels. So last year we were fortunate to sign a 10-year affiliation agreement with the government for 10 million block funding per year, which is incredible. but after the government's contributions, we still have 56% of our operating costs to raise. Like I mentioned, this can come from corporate donors, individual donors. We also have internal fundraising events, external fundraising partners, our municipal initiative, as well as our lottery. The STARS lottery is the most respected across Canada, and we raise over 11 million each year, yeah, which is about the operational cost for one of our bases. So that's pretty great. So thank you to anyone on the council that might buy lottery tickets. On this next slide, we take a look at the snapshot of our municipal support across the province and into northeastern BC. I'm very excited to share we have over 95% of municipalities on board, at which this united effort really ensures that we have a robust health and safety network for all Albertans. Regional leader partnerships are growing across the province and are represented by the dark blue boxes on the screen. Those counties and districts support STARS at a minimum of $2 per capita, all the way up to $90 per capita on a fixed rate. The light blue boxes represent our 9 provincial leaders who have STARS as a fixed rate standing motion in their protective services budget. Each of these leaders has contributed over $500,000 to date as well. And finally, the 16 complete regional partnerships are outlined with the red borders. So all cities, towns, and villages within these regions support STARS and are part of the initiative as well. So on this slide, we'll take a look at the 15-year mission overview for the municipal district of Bonnyville. So your county averages approximately 34 missions per year that STARS responds to, with 22 of them from the town of Bonnyville, which is an incredible number of residents that we have a positive impact on. Interfacility transfers are also mentioned here, as the scene calls originated within county boundaries. They were taken to your hospital. The level of care that was required was higher than could be provided, and then STARS was called. I'll talk about it a little bit more on another slide, but we do offer virtual care to rural hospitals as well. So even if the helicopter's not here, we're still making an impact in the community. So on the next slide, which is my favorite slide to share, it's our postal code project. Thank you. So we just use the postal codes of patients that we've flown, and as you can see, the outline of the blue outline is the MD of Bonnyville, and it shows the number of patients that were flown within county boundaries. So since 2010, there was 285 area residents that were flown. 157 of them were picked up within Bonnyville, but then another 128 were flown by STARS, from 23 other locations across 2 provinces. So this is a great example of a reminder that accidents and illness do not only happen close to home, and we're there for your residents wherever they travel across Western Canada. As I mentioned, STARS is borderless, so we have 6 bases across Western Canada. On average, we have 11 missions per day that we respond to. We receive over 37,000 emergency requests at our Emergency Link Center per year. Unfortunately, we can't respond to all of them, but we have 11 per day. This is a snapshot of one day where we had 18 that we were dispatched to in a 24-hour period. So you can see from the base column, it was pretty evenly distributed amongst all of our bases. The description column really speaks to the level of training that our crew has to go through. You see everything from a near drowning to stroke to vehicle accident. And then you'll note in the final column, there are instances that we work with other teams, such as the NICU. And unfortunately, there are some instances that we're told to stand down. This may be for the reason that first responders are able to stabilize the patient, which is good. Unfortunately, we do live in Canada, so sometimes the weather dictates if we're able to respond or not. But yeah, that's just a snapshot to show what our crew deals with on a daily basis. So at STARS, we're pioneers in our industry, and this is just one of many examples. We were the first to carry, in North America, to carry blood on board. We started with 2 units of blood, and then due to the high level of trauma cases we saw, it was increased to 4 units. And now we can administer fibrinogen, which promotes blood clotting. So if we have a patient that has experienced extreme blood loss, we will administer 2 units, fibrinogen in the other 2, and that gives us more time to get them to the hospital. So just one of many examples of the amazing things that we can do for patients. And as I mentioned previously, we work with rural hospitals virtually as well as physically. So we have an encrypted connection through a program called Good Sam, and it allows the staff at the rural hospitals to work with our transport physicians and receive advice in real time. They can show the patient and they can have all the specialists on one call, which is, it's a game changer for a lot of instances. So it's really amazing, and rural physicians can reach out and use that program anytime. So this is another service that is available for your hospital. So when STARS says we provide critical care anywhere, this is a great example. Doug McTavish is an Albertan who was hunting in northeastern BC when he experienced chest pain. They called 911 and it was determined he was having a heart attack. So STARS was dispatched. Over 2,400 liters of fuel, 1,700 kilometers, 8 hours of flight, 5 hours with the patient, and Doug is doing great. He recently came into the Grand Prairie base and met his crew, so it's just a great example of what we can do. So STARS, just in recap, we've flown over 63,000 missions since our start in 1985. So that's 63,000 patients, their families, and the communities that we've had an impact on. We average 34 missions per year in the county of Bonnyville, with 22 from the town of Bonnyville. We enhance healthcare in your community through physical and virtual response, and this is all at no direct cost to the patient. So I would like to request that council consider joining our municipal initiative at $2 per capita in 2026. So thank you for your consideration.
Thank you so much. Council, questions, comments? Councillor
First comment, it's a very valid and valuable service, and I think we have to give good consideration to a $2 per capita. However, I'm just a little unclear when you're saying 22 missions in the town of Bonnyville.
Mm-hmm.
Can you define what you're calling a mission?
On average, that's an average over the 15 years, that 22.
Still, what is a mission?
A mission would be the helicopter deployed and arrive here to provide care to the patient.
On scene or?
On scene could be interfacility transfers. They're also included on there as well.
So you're considering, because we've never had STARS physically land in Bonnyville, any place other than the hospital. So
there are some scene calls. If we go back to the 15-year overview, there were a few scene calls that were registered under the town of Bonnyville. I don't know if it was just outside town.
If it's outside of town, it's not in the town. I just want to be clear, because as you went through this, your numbers weren't matching what was on the papers in a number of locations. I just want to be clear on what it is. It's a very valuable service.
Definitely.
It's out of town almost daily. I think it's something that's key, and I'm just a little confused.
It says near the town of Bonnyville, the scene calls. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on, so that second column.
Yeah, near yeah.
So 19. So yeah, there was 19 that were near the town of Bonnyville that were considered scene calls and not interfacility. But the number on the top, the 308. Yes, thank you. Those were interfacility calls. So that's when you had a scene call within the county that was brought to the rural hospital, and the level of care that could be provided here wasn't enough for the patient. So then STARS was called in to provide that care and the transport to the tertiary care center.
That would be the first.
Yes.
I just want to be clear.
Yeah, like on the top there, you see on the top column, it says Bonnyville Hospital Interfacility Transfers. And that is the large number. And then near Bonnyville would be the scene calls, and that was the 19 over the 15 years.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Councillor Langridge?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you for the presentation. Do you guys have any comparisons to how our region matches up against some of the other regions? And I mean, there's obviously lots of different, it's not a contest to see who's got the largest number,
Right,
but
no.
obviously some regions don't have as many hospitals, don't have as many paramedics, don't have as much industry that we have. So I was just kind of curious if you do have comparisons of what other regional municipalities and whatnot kind of compare with.
For mission numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have an overview that we publish every year that breaks it down to each municipality. So I can send that to council to review, for
Okay.
sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? Councillor Kushner?
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Well, first of all, I live on Lake Shore, so I hear the helicopter coming all the time. So you guys provide an invaluable service. You really do. The visual care consultation, is that a new, okay.
It is, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so that excites me because that's almost like NG 911 where you can actually see and you can get a consultation like that.
Yes,
moving
in
forward.
lifetime, exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, that would really save a lot, I believe.
It does, yeah. And not only for providing guidance to the rural hospitals, say we were dispatched to the Bonnyville Hospital, all the information could be passed over and we can pass that to the receiving hospital in Edmonton, say, and they could have the specialists ready, the OR ready, so we just bypass the ER. So it saves time on.
So a question on that, and maybe it's not part of this, but I'm on the Bonnyville Regional Fire Authority, who also does EMS. Is that service going to become available for EMS as well in the future?
At this time, I don't know. That was a question I did ask when I found out about the program, but right now it's just for physicians at the hospital, so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thanks for coming all the way here.
Yeah, of course.
Any other questions? I just have a quick question. You said something about $11 million that you raised through the STARS lottery.
Yes.
And you said something to the effect that that is the operational cost for one facility a year?
Yeah.
Did I understand that?
Yes, so each of our bases, it's approximately 11.2 million for the operations cost, and we have 6. So, but in Alberta, for the Alberta lottery, it covers almost the cost for one of the bases, so we're very fortunate. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, thank you. I don't think we have any other questions. I really appreciate you coming in this evening and this presentation and the information, and we will take it back and discuss.
Perfect. Thank you all so much. My apologies again for the mix-up on the time.
No, worked out well. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, all right, council. So we are now on bylaws. We are looking for a second and third reading on the proposed partial lane closure. Pass this on to administration.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So this is a bylaw that was originally started back in February of '25. The bylaw basically is to shut down an alleyway portion behind 4802 47th Ave, located at the Lodge. This is a project, from my understanding, that was started prior to some of our administration team that's here now. And it's more of a cleanup from an old file that needs to be finalized. So I will hand it over to planning department here to kind of get into the details of it, but basically it's more, we just wanted to make sure that this was brought back. So this wasn't originally closed out. So in order to close this out, we had to get approval from the provincial government. And as such, that lane closure approval has been approved. So moving forward with second and third reading is what's required to finally to finalize the lane closure. But I'll let Mr. Heaney here to explain the rest.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Through you to council. Yes, this is the second time through for this project. The project had received a first reading once before February 25th of 2025. And at some point in the transition between staff, the necessary documents that needed to go to the province for approval weren't sent in. So the project was restarted in February of 25, first reading given by council. Documents have been submitted to transportation and the approval was received on October 3rd, 2025. So bringing back to council for second and third reading to be able to close that lane and basically make it part of a green space of what used to be the little chapel right beside the lodge.
Right. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, Councillor McAvoy.
I will move second reading of bylaw 1588-25.
All in favor? Carried. And we're looking for third reading, please. Councillor Johnson.
I'll provide third reading of bylaw number 158825.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. All right. Next, we have the financial reports for September. Turn it over to administration. Anything you'd like to go over or point out for us?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So attached is the September financial report, and it does include the bank reconciliation statement that at the end of September in our checking account had about $3.5 million. In the savings account had $22,327,000, which included in that there was $9,900 left for the Frog Lake tie-in design grant, and our notice on demand account had $242,340 in it. With the operating and capital financial report, the summary, there's also the detail report as is to be presented quarterly. Administration is asking that you accept the September 2025 financial report as presented.
All right, thank you. Any questions for any of the financial reports as presented? Councillor Schroon?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Just one on page 78 of your budget variance report, line number 4300-441, recycling revenue. It says 55,320. Does this include the household hazardous waste and the transportation all lumped into one, or what is that about?
That does include the household hazardous waste and the EPR program. Sorry, I couldn't get that acronym there for a second. Yeah, and that was up until, I know we just did the September invoice, we just got that in, so there's probably a month that's not included, but.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, we'll look for a motion. Councillor Kushner? Oh, you have a question. My apologies.
The STEM cooking circle through to administration. What is that? I've never heard that before.
What page are you on?
Oh, sorry. 93, I think. 93.
Okay. That's right.
Yes. STEM's cooking circle, 93. Anybody have any idea?
That is an FCSS program. It is a grant that they received for the program. What the program all does, I am not sure, but yeah, that's what I can tell you. It's an FCSS program.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I guess I should have given you a heads up on that. Also on page 98, the 2300 fire department. I'm assuming that's for trucks. Is that correct? The 253,650. That's just capital for trucks.
That 253,000 for this year was for life-saving equipment. So it was the Jaws of Life as well as some breathing air compressors.
Okay, I remember that now. And then, so the ID 349. Am I still in the right spot on page 103?
Mm-hmm.
Ask questions on that. Okay, the ID 349. Nope, too far.
That's budget.
Okay, okay. I'm done. Thank you.
I like your eagerness, but all right. So any other questions on the financial reports then? No. Okay, we'll look for motion now then to approve them as presented. Councillor Schroon.
I will move the financial reports as presented.
All in favor? Carried. All right, now we're moving on to budget. So we'll look at draft one of the operating budget. hand that over to.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We will go through this together as a team, but I will start off with passing it over to our finance officer.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Attached is draft 1 of the 2026 operating budget for council's initial review. The second draft will be presented to council at the November 25th council meeting. Currently, draft 1 has a deficit of $1,753,662, which will need to be balanced to ensure compliance with the MGA prior to final approval. Administration will continue working on options for council's consideration to balance the budget in preparation for the next draft. Significant changes that have led to this deficit include an overall decrease in revenue in the amount of $1,664,400, which includes the ID 349 revenue that was included in the operating budget in 2025 for the building incentive programs, and the revenue from the reserve to balance the 2025 operating budget. An overall increase in expenses from 2025 in the amount of $882,262 includes additional funding requests from community organizations, an increase in insurance, the addition of an admin position for sports tourism, an increase in the RCMP contract, an increase in equipment replacement reserve transfer, an increase in the fire services contract, the addition of an economic development officer position, 911 contracted costs, janitorial costs, technology hardware and software, the purchase of water from the Cold Lake Regional Utility Services Commission, a review of the MDP Municipal Development Plan, the addition of a development technician position, economic development promotions, the Centennial Center grant, the building repair and maintenance for the swimming pool, and salaries and benefits, which does include additional overtime of $47,700. Areas where expenses have decreased include the municipal election, the carbon levy, contracted costs for roads under engineering and snow removal, contracted costs for economic development, contracted costs for the Beaver River Regional Waste Management Commission, water meter conversions, contracted costs for safety codes, sewer equipment repair and maintenance, the grant for demolition of property, and contingency funds. An interim operating budget must be passed prior to December 31st, but can still be amended prior to the finalization of the 2026 property tax rate bylaw. The general operating reserve, which can be used to aid in balancing the operating budget, has an estimated balance of $2,064,155 at the end of 2025. Recommendations from administration to balance the budget will be presented during the draft 2 presentation, which will be on November 25th, 2025. We are asking that council provide feedback on draft 1 of the 2026 operating budget and set the date of December 2nd, 2025 as the date for the budget open house.
Okay, any questions from council to administration? Councilor Kushner.
Thank you. So just a question on the ID 349 revenue for building incentive programs. So we put in, I think, $1 million this year as well through the administration. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And how much of that has been used?
Currently, we have 4 applications in for the single-family dwelling properties for $100,000, and I do not believe we've received any applications yet for the multi-unit properties.
So we're at about 100,000. So there's about 900,000 that hasn't been used up this year.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Councilor Blanchard?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just for clarity, so under the funding request from community organizations, just shy of 113,000, that's addition, like over and above what was last year's asks.
That is correct.
Okay, and then one more, Madam Mayor, the Centennial Center grant for 44.5, what is that for?
That is their operating grant, and they asked for an increase of about 5% for 2026.
Great, thank you, that's all.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Through to administration, I've got a few questions here. On page 106 under general municipal, we did not budget anything for bad debt. Is there a reason why we didn't put anything there?
Yes, the province recently changed that. So up until last year, it was 50% of the grant in lieu of property taxes for the province that we had to write off. Then they decreased that by 25%, and next year it's gone.
Okay, thank you. Under government services grant on page 107, we have a new $25,000 seniors transportation grant. We usually run around $3,000, so I'm just wondering what this new program's all about.
That would be for the 2027 preliminary year. It would be a new program that we were looking at to probably put in future years that is equivalent to what the MD does for their seniors transportation grant.
Okay, perfect, thank you. And on page 118, solid waste, 4300-205, recycling costs of $90,000. I believe that's an expense.
Yes, that is correct. That is for the contractor to pick up the bins and relocate them to where they have to go. Sorry. Yeah, to Cold Lake.
I thought we were getting paid for the transportation of,
There's an offsetting revenue as well. That's about 100 and. just give me
okay,
a second here.
okay.
Recycling revenue, 131,500.
Okay, thank you. And just one more on page 126, and it goes with your request for decision. You want an economic development officer position for 109,000. That's an extra expense. But on page 126, for salaries and wages under 6200-110, we've got 0 budgeted for an economic development officer under salaries and wages for 2025, but under 2026, we have 87,364. Where were those costs allocated before?
It was under contracted costs, so in 2026, there are no contracted costs.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Any other questions on the operating budget? No, just feedback. Okay.
Oh, sorry, Madam Mayor, we would need a motion just for the December 2nd, 3rd.
Okay, so just a motion for the Councilor Blanchard.
I will move that we set the budget open house for December 2nd, 2025.
Thank you. All in favor? All right. Looking at the all draft one budget.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Attached is draft 1 of the 2026 capital budget. The second draft of this budget will be presented at the November 25th council meeting as well. Currently, draft 1 reflects a deficit of $15,256,345, which will need to be balanced to ensure compliance with the MGA prior to final approval. Administration will continue to work on options for council's consideration to balance the budget in preparation for the next draft. Draft 1 of the capital budget includes all projects that were identified in 2025. The only updates are an increase to the cost of a fire truck, which went from $850,000 to $1.2 million, and a corresponding decrease in the revenue transfer allocated for its purchase, reflecting the current balance in the reserve account. As the 2025 fiscal year concludes, some capital projects may remain incomplete and will be carried forward into the final 2026 capital budget. Since these projects were fully funded in 2025, any expenditures carried forward will have matching revenue allocations. And we are asking that council provide feedback on draft 1 of the 2026 capital budget.
Okay, thank you. Questions, comments, capital budget? Councilor Blanchett.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. On page 137 of the package, under administration, we've got accommodation study and the long-term facilities master plan for 2026, 50,000. Were we still doing that project?
In 2025, we did defer it to future years. That will be part of our discussion, and we have it during the capital budget.
Okay, and I have one more. Under parks, under the Jesse Lake master plan, we have nothing budgeted for 2026 for any further development on that yet.
That is correct. As of right now, we don't have any future areas planned until we do the council strategic meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions on the capital budget as presented? Draft 1. No? All right, I think that's all we needed on that one. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Letter of support for the Bonnyville Friendship Center for a community-based initiative.
Madam Mayor, I'd
Yeah.
like to just excuse myself from this one for perceived conflict.
Okay, thank you. All right, who wants to speak on this one?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I will speak on this one. So the Bonnyville Friendship Center is preparing to launch a comprehensive outreach initiative to support vulnerable populations, particularly those unhoused and experiencing addiction and mental health challenges. The initiative includes mobile warming station, a safe and warm space during harsh weather conditions, mobile outreach services, education and overdose prevention, and distribution of essential items, addiction support and services delivered through the cultural and land-based approaches, transportation referral support assistance in accessing detox and rehabilitation services. Recommendation that council approves the request and issue a letter of support for the Bonnyville Friendship Center community-based outreach initiative at this time.
Thank you. Questions for administration on this request? No? Councilor Blanchette?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Not a question. Well, maybe I'll have a question. We'll see. I did want to point out that this is very needed in our community. I don't think that's lost on any of us. I think that if just providing this letter of support, if it gets them some grant funding of some sort to provide these services, it would probably alleviate some out of scope work that our folks over at FCSS tend to have to do from time to time. So I'd be very happy to provide this. However, I did want to confirm with administration by providing this letter of support and indicating that, I see the draft says we're proud to support this important initiative and what a positive impact it'll have. This isn't going to tie us in the future if they were to come to us and ask for funding to fund any of these services, correct?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, through the councillor. It's hard to understand the letter itself, the way it's written, but I would probably suggest that with the letter of support, we would just provide them with an additional note stating that if they were requiring any financial assistance further, they would have to come back as a separate discussion.
Yeah, I'd like that clarifier on there if we could, please and thank you. I'm happy to make a motion if no one else has any other comments.
Any other questions or comments? Okay. Just a quick comment. It's very vague. It's interesting. We don't really know, are there any assets? Is this team already put together? It'd be interesting just to understand the program a little bit further. But as Councillor Blanchette noted, it is something that is needed for the community, and I definitely support it, but that's just my own curiosity. It would be interesting to know more about this program. But if you're prepared to do a motion, I will have.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I will move that council approve the request and issue a letter of support for the Bonnyville Friendship Center's community-based outreach initiative.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. We can just have somebody grab Councillor Johnson. Okay, moving on. Under business, 2025 tax sale listing.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I will defer this over to our finance officer.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The properties listed on the attached spreadsheet have not paid their property taxes and are on the property tax arrears list. Numerous letters, reminder notices, and current tax notices have been sent to the property owners, but have not resulted in payment of the taxes. The outstanding taxes include amounts from 2022 to 2025 with penalties. As the attached properties still have tax arrears outstanding, the MGA requires that each municipality sell these properties at a public auction. Due to the advertising requirements for the auction, administration is requesting the public auction date be scheduled for March 12th, 2026 at 10:30 a.m. Prior to the auction and the advertising of the auction, the MGA states that reserve bids and conditions of sale must also be set. Administration is recommending that the conditions of the sale be as listed. Our recommendation is that council set reserve bids for the properties as per the attached listing, conditions of sale be as presented, and a public auction be held on March 12th, 2026 at 10:30 a.m. at the Town Administration Office, and direct the CAO to carry out the auction on that specified date.
All right, thank you. Questions for administration? No? All right, we are looking for a decision, council. Interested? Councillor Kushner.
Thanks. I will make a motion that council set reserve bids for the properties as per the attached listing, conditions of sales at presented, and a public auction to be held on March 12th, 2026 at 10:30 a.m. at the Town Administration Office, and direct the CAO to carry out the auction on the specified date.
All right, thank you. Any questions on the motion? Councillor Langridge?
Sorry, Madam Mayor, and just a quick question for administration.
On the motion?
Yes, on the motion with regards to those properties, are a bunch of those parking spots?
Yes, they are.
Okay, that is all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Motion on the floor, all in favor? Carried. All right, we will move on to committee reports. Start with Councillor Johnson, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. October the 16th, we had a Historical Society board meeting. October the 17th, we had an Ohana Center meeting. On October 8th, or I got my dates mixed up here. My apologies. So the Ohana meeting was on the 16th. And then on October the 17th, I attended the Resiliency Awards by the Chamber of Commerce. October 18th, I attended the CNRL fundraiser steak and shrimp event. October 21st, I went to Cold Lake for the Community Futures Smart Start kickoff. And on October the 24th, I came in to watch a recap of the provincial throne speech, and on October the 25th, I attended the SPCA Comedy for a Cause event. And that's all for me.
Okay, so October 16th, we had our BRFA meeting. October 17th, the Chamber Resiliency Award. October 18th, CNRL fundraiser. 21st, also went to Cold Lake for the Smart Start Community Futures event. The 24th came here for this speech for the throne recap, from the throne, sorry. October 24th, also did some counselor training. 25th, went to the BRFA Glendon Fall Ball. And I would like to welcome Caitlin to our team. Glad to see you here. Excited that you're here. That's all.
Okay, as well, I attended the BRFA board meeting on the 16th, the Chamber Business Resilience Award on the 17th, the CNRL Steak and Shrimp fundraiser on the 18th, and the Glendon Fire Department Ball on the 25th. And that's it. Oh, I was also at the throne speech thing too.
Okay, thank you. All right, so October 16th, I had a BRFA meeting, and then in the afternoon, destination marketing meeting. On the 17th, I attended the Chamber Resiliency Awards. Want to congratulate all the local businesses who were recognized that evening. I think they all worked hard and deserved the awards that were presented to them that evening. On the 18th, attended the CNRL fundraiser. I have determined that I think that is the second largest, if not one of the largest, fundraising events in the town of Bonnyville. It is so well attended, and I really appreciate all the volunteers and all the work that they do and the money that they raise for our local organizations. October 21st, attended the Smart Start kickoff. On the 23rd, we had council orientation. The 25th, attended the Glendon Fall Ball. And then the 26th, Fame Dance had their ballet recital was Aladdin. it's so exciting that they can have those recitals and performances now here at the local theater. So that was really fun. And then last night I attended the BRFA Chief Officers meeting.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a couple for myself. October 22nd, we had an Alberta Winter Games staff and board walkthroughs. It was a chance for the staff to update not only the board, but also the provincial organization on where they're at. As you know, this event is coming up very quickly now in the Family Day long weekend in February. And we're still looking for a lot of volunteers. So if anyone is interested, we're always looking for more people, and just use the website to go and sign up. Then we had council orientation on the 23rd, and that is it for me.
Okay, thank you. On the 15th of October, I had Lakeland Lodge and Housing Foundation. On the 16th, our BSN and Chamber meeting. On the 17th was our Chamber Business Resiliency Awards. On the 18th was our CNRL Steak and Shrimp fundraiser. 23rd was council orientation. 25th SPCA Comedy for a Cause, which was co-hosted by our own Councillor Blanchette. She did a fantastic job keeping everything moving, and it was a fun night. On the 26th, I also attended Aladdin, presented by the famed Dance Studios, and last night, the Bonnyville Ag Society regular meeting. I just got a couple of things here that I'd like to share with all of you. So on the 19th of November, the Chamber is hosting an AI Business Blueprint workshop from 7:30 in the morning till noon. It's free of charge. It's at the Neighborhood Inn. All you have to do is sign into, or just go onto the Chamber website, and you can sign yourself in. On the 18th, at the Centennial Center, there is a job fair. So something else happening in our community. And I just want to remind everybody, I know Serena's mentioned it at the Chamber Resiliency Awards, for everybody to sign up for your Chamber perks. There's a lot of good deals on there, and it just keeps everything local. So looking forward to maybe having by our next council, everybody signed up. And last night at our Ag Society meeting, we are sponsoring, along with the town of Bonnyville, the MD of Bonnyville, and the Bonnyville District FCSS, MCSNet, and Alberta Association of Agricultural Societies. On November 3rd at the Ag Grounds, there is a breakfast at 7 o'clock. We should be out of there by 9 o'clock. It's for community leaders. So again, let myself or Corey know on who's attending. That evening, Ian Hill will be speaking at the Ag Society grounds. The doors open at 6, supper at 6:30. It's a free supper. Ian Hill is going to be making his another presentation there in front of everybody. And something that's going to be posted here today is, did you know that rural and remote communities face a higher suicide rate than urban areas? 54.8% of suicide deaths occur in Canada, and 80% of those are men. So Empowering Minds is a community-wide initiative that equips everyday people with the skills to become first identifiers, helping others before a crisis occurs. So when you go on to the Ag Society, there is a poster there. All you have to do is scan it and register yourself for the evening presentation. And again, a free dinner at the Ag Grounds. And that's all I have.
Okay, October 15th, I had an SPCA board meeting. October 17th, I also attended the Chamber Awards. Congratulations to all those local businesses and organizations. October 18th, the CNRL annual fundraiser. October 23rd, council orientation. October 24th, the speech from the throne summary. October 25th, I did have the pleasure of co-emceeing the Comedy for a Cause fundraising event, and what my colleagues failed to mention was how funny I was. True. It was really well attended, and it was a really great success. Comedy happening across the way over there. Then October 26th, I also attended the ballet performance of Aladdin. And I also had a few meetings with our executive director for the FCSSAA to discuss some of the things we have in the works. And I wanted to share one of the projects that we have in the works is I will be co-presenting a session at the AB Munis Convention in Calgary next month on the FCSS program and its role in communities across the province. And so with it being an election year, we decided to take the opportunity to educate some newly elected officials and not so newly elected officials, if you would all grace me with your presence in that session. And we just talk to folks about how leaders across the province can champion that project or that program. And that's all from me.
That's all right, thank you. Okay, under correspondence, we do have a couple items, the strategic plan update, business licensing report, and community organization funding up to October 23rd. Any questions on any of those correspondence before I do the proclamation? Okay, all right, and then proclamation, Family Violence Prevention Month, November 2025. Whereas violence against women and children represents one of the most significant societal issues that endangers Canadians' health and well-being, and effects of family violence may be carried from generation to generation. The town of Bonnyville does hereby proclaim the month of November 2025 to be Family Violence Prevention Month. We call upon citizens to speak out against family violence and help make our town violence-free in 2025 and beyond. Any questions for administration? No. Couple items in camera. Motion to move into camera, please. Councilor